Get going. Okay. All right. Three, two, one. Come on, come all. Welcome back to Shiloh. We are in episode 66 after a minor third layoff. We're back.
We're back. And
We're back.
we're better than ever.
We're better than ever, and we are officially Shiloh.
We are officially Shiloh again. Can I ask a question for you?
Of course.
Can you take it a little bit away from your mouth?
Yes, it's been a while since I've done this.
No, it's okay.
Also, we can start over. Yeah.
We'll start over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it sounds fine. It just sounds a little.
No, I agree, and that's one thing I have to get better at is like knowing like my inflection of like what the gain is and stuff with this mic. So.
Yep. Yeah. No worries. Yeah. No, that sounds good.
Does it sound better?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll start over again.
Yep. No, you're good.
3, 2, 1. Come one, come all. Welcome back to Shiloh. We are in episode 66 after a slight hiatus. We're back.
Just a slight hiatus.
Couple months, you know.
We're better than ever. Couple. A couple's 2, right?
A couple is 2. So what's 9?
What's 9? 2.5 couples.
That's a lot of couples.
Or 3 fews. That's something that I have gotten into, not arguments by any stretch of the imagination, but growing up, I don't think I was ever taught that couple, when you were referring to a quantity of items that weren't people, is 2 and only ever 2.
I guess it makes sense.
But thinking about it, a couple of things is just 2 things, right?
So yeah, it's also like a relationship. You're a couple. Unless it's 2020, I guess you can have 3 or 4 or 5 people in there. Who knows?
Wouldn't that be a throuple or a quadruple?
I don't know. We'll have to have somebody on to talk about that sometime.
I know. Well, I say this because Hillary has kindly reminded me that when I point to, I don't know, 3 or 4 deer that might be in our street, like, oh, there's a couple deer, and she'll say, no, there's a few deer, or there's many deer.
Well, at least you don't say deer.
Of it.
So at least you only have.
No, I'm not stupid. I'm not.
Well, I don't know. Anyways.
Well, I did say couple referring to 4 people, so referring to 4. So.
Anyways, we are officially back. We are officially Shiloh. We'll get into what that means in a minute, but buddy, it is good to see you on Zoom. It is good to talk to you again.
Yeah,
I'm excited that we're back. We have a lot of explaining to do to our listeners is where we were, what we were doing, and why we were so lazy. But we're back, and that's all that matters.
We're back. We're happy. As happy as we could be right now, given the state of the world. But we are good to go, and Shiloh is back, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
We're back. We're still the same 2 idiots. We still run. We still laugh. We're just located in different places. Is that a good place to start? Is kind of why things have slowed down, why we're not in the same place, why you can see a video recording us if you're, on the website or on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, I say this is your opportunity to jump.
Okay.
What's going on?
You know what? I love this podcast so much, and I love my partner in crime across the
that's me,
the camera.
Across the interweb.
That I figured, if we're gonna be called Shiloh, it needs to be one guy in Chicago and one guy in Iowa. It wasn't good enough.
True.
We're from the Chicagoland area and we lived in Iowa, so I took it on my shoulders to move to the great city of Chicago. So I've moved. I moved back in June.
You're a resident of Chicago, Illinois.
Yes, I'm living in the beautiful Bucktown neighborhood. For those who are familiar with Chicago, little west of downtown. If everyone knows the Bean and the Mag Mile and everything, I'm a little west of there. I'm not. This podcast hasn't paid the bills like enough for me to live down in the.
It's hard to pay bills when you don't do work for 9 months.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm in Chicago now. I'm happy, loving it here. Miss obviously all you guys back in Iowa, but excited to have this officially be the Shiloh podcast.
Yeah, it's exciting. So why did you decide to move to Chicago, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a great question. I think it's one that is fair for me to answer to you and to our listeners.
Yep.
Obviously, Michael and I are from, not Chicago proper growing up, but close enough. And just felt, living in Iowa for 10 years is a long time to be living in a place that's not necessarily home or where you feel like you're going to be putting your roots down long term. So just felt like it was time for a new adventure, so to speak. Always envisioned myself at some point kind of moving down to the city growing up and everything, being close to Wrigley and to Soldier and the United Center and everything. So that's where I am. I'm happy to be here. I'm loving it. Obviously, as everyone knows, in the world of 2020, it's bizarre time. So still enjoying, getting out to restaurants and supporting local businesses and running around, enjoying the 606 a lot, the running trail here. but yeah, everything is good, man. I am loving life in Chicago. I
Good.
obviously miss all my friends back in Iowa, but
We miss you
um,
too.
close to home and family and bunch of friends here, and loving life here.
Yep. So, question for you: are there any other notable figures that you can think of that retired twice and came out of retirement twice?
Us,
Us.
Michael Jordan.
I think the list can probably stop
I
there.
think that, yeah, I mean, just three Michaels. Three Michaels in a
Just
pod.
3 Michaels on a pod.
Yeah.
Saying that we're on a pod altogether, it's not inaccurate. It's
No, I
not
mean,
the
I'm
most
pretty.
accurate
I'm not
statement,
too
but
far away from his statue. I can see the UC from my roof, so we're pretty
can you?
close. Yeah.
Do you ever run to the UC?
I have not since I've been here.
Okay.
I've been so when I first moved here, like all the stuff was closed, right? You couldn't run on trails, like the 606 and the
Yeah.
Lakefront Trail were all closed because of the
Also,
pandemic.
you have to tell us what the 606 is,
I
but
definitely
we can
will.
get back there.
Definitely
Okay.
will.
I'll make a note.
Yep, definitely will. So I had to run like just streets, which obviously a lot of people in Chicago do, is run the streets. And I absolutely hated it because it's red
Oh
lights.
yeah,
Red
it's
lights can't
horrible.
get in their flow. So as soon as the
It
606 opened up, which is I guess is a fine time to explain what it is. I thought I
Uh-oh.
lost you there for a second. It's an old elevated train, train line. So I think it was in the 1800s. It was built. Actually used to be connected to Elgin, which is a western suburb of Chicago. It would run from Elgin to the city. It was like, I don't know, 30 something miles, 50 something miles long. Long story short, it stopped being used. I think the last time it was used was in 2001 for freight. So it's sat dormant for a while. An elevated train track kind of got overgrown, and then in 2013, I think they broke ground on this idea of like, let's make it a park, so to speak, like a trail for the runners and bikers, and they have trees and everything. It's beautiful. So they finished, I think, 2015. So it's been around for 5 years, and it's a 2.7 mile elevated train surface or flat surface. It used to
Perfect.
be a train that you can run on with unobstruction, with no street lights or no cars. It's just safe to run and bike on. So been
It's
running that
it's
a lot.
perfect.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
2.7
perfect.
miles, so down and back. You get up wherever you run down, across and back 5 miles, and then a little bit to
Yeah.
home. How far is it about for you when you run on that typically?
So if
Mile
I
or out?
run just down, so if anyone's familiar with Chicago, I live near Western and Milwaukee, kind of near the Western Blue Line stop. So I'm like, from my door like to the entrance to the 606 is like a quarter mile, so it's very
Okay.
close. And then
Okay.
from there,
Nice.
it's 2.7 one way. So if you got on and started at one of the ends and went all the way down, it's 2.7. You ran all the way back. That's 5.4. So you can run up and
Okay.
down there without having to worry about traffic or people or
That's so nice.
whatever. So
It
I'm
re-
enjoying that.
Similar to the High Line in New York,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is in the Chelsea neighborhood. I know Hill and I have walked it a couple times. Yeah, it's nice just to get above traffic, get above the streets, and just be able to walk.
Exactly. So I can see the skyline, everything. So it's beautiful. So I'm loving that. Anyways,
Yeah,
I'm in
good.
Chicago now. Michael's in Des Moines. We're officially Iowa.
Yep.
Life is good.
Yep. And we stopped recording because we're lazy assholes. And that's not
Yeah.
necessarily true.
Yeah. No one got, unfortunately, no one's been sick or anything, or everything's good. Health is good.
Yep.
We're just living in different states now, which is just
Yep.
fine. And we're committed to being back. We missed the podcast. We missed talking to each other and bullshitting every single week. So we're back, and we're going to be talking running and sports and life and everything in
Oh yeah.
between. So
Yeah, I think one of the benefits that the listeners, our big slew of listeners will get will hopefully be the additional banter back and forth, just miscellaneous shit.
yeah, we don't have the
We don't have the opportunity that we don't run together anymore. We don't talk nearly as much as we used to. So it'll be a lot more catching up, a lot more, stuff
hey,
that
how
we
you
might not
doing?
care about, but exactly.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
yeah, me too.
Should be
So
good.
yeah, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to move on, but go on.
No, I was gonna say that's we'll still see each other from time to time, and I mean I'll be back occasionally in Iowa. Actually, might be back next week, which is the first time you're hearing that for work. So we'll see if that pans out.
That's
But
new.
you're gonna be back here in Geneva for Thanksgiving, and we're planning on doing a run
Yep.
there. So we'll see each other occasionally, but it's mostly gonna be catching up over podcasts, which is great.
Yep, it's fantastic. So, what kind of things have you been up to in Chicago since you moved? Granted, you said you moved in June,
Moved in
so
June.
you moved in the middle of a pandemic. which hopefully will be the only time you ever have to move in
Yeah.
the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
If
what
I
kind of things keep you busy?
Well, good question, Michael.
Thank
So
you.
if
Thank you.
nothing's really changed. So still like to run. So still run a decent amount.
Yeah.
Not obviously no races that I'm in right now. I've done a local 5K virtual thing to kind of help support charities and stuff, but nothing crazy. So no races that I've been doing virtually, but just running to kind of enjoy it, which has been fun. Just to kind of get back to the basis of running because I like to run, not because I feel like I need to train because I'm going to get my
Hmm.
ass kicked in a race. But
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
running. Um, I like obviously million restaurants here, so I've been trying to eat my way through the city, um,
Safely.
safely, of course. Yep,
Yep.
social distancing, of course. Still like my beer, which if you're watching on video, having a nice Lagunitas right now. But yeah, breweries and stuff, and hanging out with friends, and nothing crazy. So just working and trying to stay safe. And like I was telling you, there's only so much you can do indoors coming the winter. So it was a perfect time for this to start back up and to get the podcast rolling again.
Yep. Give us something else to do. Hopefully, we'll have some additional media type things, some Instagram recordings, stories, little sound bits. I don't know, miscellaneous things, more than just your weekly new episode type thing. Want to try to engage people, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
yep,
That'll keep us busy.
absolutely, and doing some interviews every now and again. People seem to like that a lot when we had different guests from different backgrounds on, whether it be running or different sports or whatever. So, well, we're back. It's probably going to follow a pretty similar format as we did. We'll do bullshit. We'll have some stupid theoretical questions from Reddit or from our zany brains, and then talking to some cool people every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, man? What's the latest in Iowa? What's changed since I moved in June? Anything? Obviously, everyone's been kind of still cooped up indoors as much as everybody else in the
Yeah.
world. But what's new in Iowa? What's new in your world?
Uh-oh, I lost you.
Oh,
Oh, no, you're back. Oh, hold on.
and there's gonna be parts of this too where we lose each other.
Yep. I'm gonna stop this real quick. I'm gonna stop my recording because it got back to okay. Now it's better again. What the fuck? It was all messed up because I could hear myself delayed again. I'm gonna try to
Oh
start
shoot.
recording
Okay.
again. Okay, now it's better.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. Um. Okay, where were we? Oh, you asked me what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Well,
What's new with you, man?
not that much really.
Are you running a
Hill
lot
and
still?
I, yeah, running a lot. I mean, a lot is one way to put it. It's probably not the best way to put it. But I'm trying to keep up my mileage as much as possible. Just stay consistent, stay comfortable. Now that it's starting to cool off again, starting to maybe get a little more miles in. I personally like cool weather running. I'm still getting a fucking echo. I'm just gonna turn myself off. Okay, that's better. No, I don't like that. Okay, here we go. This is just fantastic podcast being back. Um, I personally like the cool weather running. Roboto. I have to go in and mix some of this up. Where am I at? 393. I'm just gonna make some notes of stuff to
Yeah.
cut up.
100%.
393, 393, and 4 cut up. Okay. Okay, cool. So I enjoy cool weather running. I enjoy it when it's cold. I enjoy getting out and not over sweating, but running when it's cool enough to where when you warm up, you don't overheat.
That perfect temperature where you're not sweating
It's
really.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
hot. You don't feel like you need to have a bunch of water with you. It's the perfect kind of zen. You can just
Ex-
coast.
exactly. It was perfect. Like today, 40 degrees and sunny. I
Yep.
went out, I got 10 and a half miles in, felt comfortable, felt great the whole time. It's like
What
you can't beat it.
what's the ideal temperature for you to go running in? Like, what's that range? Like maybe like a 10
I like,
degree range.
40, 45 to 55, I'd put for me.
Yeah.
At that point, you don't need any like thermal or anything too warm. You can bring gloves, but you don't have to have gloves. You don't need a stocking cap. Probably long sleeves and shorts.
Yep.
Give me a hat, give me some sunglasses, and let's go.
And this time of the year too, like when you start getting that kind of seasonal depression disorder, when you have that sun, at least today it was beautiful here, kind of cold, like 45 degrees as well, but that sun was out, and it just like it makes the world a difference, at least to me. Like wanting to go outside, wanting to go for a run
Oh
versus
yeah,
when it's like overcast and gray, and it's like, well, maybe I'll just stay in my pajamas and like do the work from home thing in my sweats in a long sleeve and not leave the couch after work.
absolutely. And that I think that the ability to have your flexible. I think both of us are very fortunate now. We have flexible work and flexible work schedules, so we can get out during the middle of the day. It helps so much to get out and get some sun. in these days when it gets, light at 7:15, or it will be soon, and gets
Yeah.
dark at 5:15. It's so nice to be able to get out. Very
Yeah,
much
what
appreciate it.
has your like running routine been since you've been working from home? Like, has it been a lunch run? Has it been like I want to get up early and go run? Does it depend on like if
Most
it's hot or gross out or cold?
Yeah.
Now that we're into November. What's
Mo-
your like routine been the last 8 months?
yeah. Mostly at like lunch runs or afternoon runs.
Yeah.
We've done a little some JJRCs as much as we can once we felt comfortable enough and felt like it was safe enough to run in groups again. Um, but for the most part, haven't done a ton of morning runs. Mostly mid-afternoon, or mostly like lunchtime or mid-afternoon runs. And I'm expecting that to probably stay consistent moving forward too. Yeah. How about yourself?
Well, first of all, that's like the number one thing I miss about Iowa is every time
JJRC?
I get my lazy ass out of bed before I log on for like uh my work day is seeing that I got me check Strava because that's like my like part
What's
of
your
my
routine?
routine. My stupid millennial like addicted to my phone routine is like let me check social and let me check Strava, and I hate that I do that every single day, but I do. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah, but
damn
I
it, the
do
boys have
too.
already ran 6 or
I
7
know.
miles
I
before I even
know.
got out of bed, and I missed
I
that.
know.
I miss seeing you guys. For those who don't know, JJRCs are a little dorky run group that we call the Java Joggers
Java
Running Club.
Joggers Running Club.
Yep, it's great. An exclusive club.
Very exclusive.
But I do miss that. I miss seeing you guys and running with you guys in the morning before work. But yeah,
I
I've
know.
been an afternoon runner. It's kind of like since I'm cooped up in my little little apartment here. It's 700 square feet. It's nice to be have access to go for a run, kind of just at my fingertips. So usually it's like
Mhm.
a lunch run a little beforehand. I'll try to get out. If I start working at 7:30, work for 3 hours, try to get out between 10:30 and noon. Kind of make that my early lunch or lunch run, and go
Mhm.
for an hour. Usually my loop is you know, about 6 miles. By the time I run down the 606, run back to 606, and then come back to my place is like almost exactly 6 miles. So that's kind of been my
Nice.
daily routine during the work week, just to get out for that hour and just soak up some vitamin D. It's been great.
Nice. So when you run down the 606, do you go the same direction every time when you start?
You know what I this is the power of Strava. I used to basically mix it up every day.
Okay.
And sometimes like okay, I'll go this way, I'll go left, I'll go towards West Town, I'll go towards closer to the city, I'll go towards Humboldt Park, farther away from the city. And then I noticed I became that one of those local legends on one of the
Yeah,
Strava segments.
that's exciting, right?
And now I can't lose it, so I go the same way
Oh
every
no.
single
So
time.
you're the local legend in the same direction.
Yeah,
So
it's
is it
like
like
it's
no, go ahead.
going west on the like on the 606. So from like Wicker Park towards like Humboldt Park. So I became the local legend. So for those who don't know, if you have Strava, I'm sure everyone who's a runner has it, but not everyone's a runner who listens to our podcast. Is if there's a segment, it's like okay, it's if I run from here to the loop, that's 3 miles. That can be a segment and it records everyone who runs it. So, anyways, on this segment, it's like a 5K segment on the 606 trail that I became the local legend because I run it so damn much that I have to just keep that. So
So
I run
local
westbound
legend
every
is
time.
yeah, local legend is the person who runs it most frequently over the past 90 days, I think,
Correct.
right?
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
exactly.
Okay, so are there people who are close, who are pushing you, like
I
who
don't
are,
know.
within a few runs?
I'm a cheap ass. I don't subscribe to Strava, and maybe I'm not sure if that even shows you if like what
Okay.
the leaderboard is on
Actually,
local legends.
that's a good point. I don't think it does. We were
Yeah,
looking at this with Nate and Kyle, and they show you the leaderboard of the King of the Hill, but
right,
they don't show you local legends because that could get pretty sketchy pretty quick.
right.
People have that information at their fingertips, like, oh, this person runs here 60 out of the last 90 days at the same
True,
time.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, I think
anyways,
you're right.
yep. So not that the fear of losing that, not even fear, but like kind of that slight competitive edge. It's
Right.
like I
It's
can't lose
it's
that. I got
fair.
to keep.
It's
If I'm going
fair.
to
You're
run the whole thing
you're
anyways,
scared.
why would I
You're
go
scared.
left when I can go right and still keep that segment?
Exactly.
So
Now the
yeah,
difficult part will be or what you should do is get both of them. Just
it's true.
get all of it. So just run back and forth and back and forth.
And I have looked at. Now that I have that one, I have looked at what other leaders are, and I'm like, it's still more than I got. So I'm going to start doing 2 days, so I can just be the local legend of all of the 606.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if you have any other
I got
option
nothing else to
really.
do, right? We're gonna be stuck indoors for the next fucking 4 months in Chicago. So might as well just get on
Exactly.
the 606 and start living out there. Maybe do an ultra on the 606. Maybe the first ever ultra done on the 606.
Ooh,
That
the
has been in my
606 Ultra.
brain. Um,
I love
maybe
it.
I'll see if I can
It
get
just
a person or two to
it's
join me for the first ever
absolutely.
606 ultra.
And it's like you can get, so is there a way you can like walk up in the middle of it?
Oh
Like you
yeah,
don't have to
there's
walk, you don't have
access
to start.
points at all. Yeah, every like couple
Okay,
blocks.
so what you do is you have some people who want to just hang out. You probably can't drink on it, can you?
I mean,
Yeah,
probably
you
if you
could.
throw it in a Yeti, you could.
Okay, exactly. Okay, so get Brian and
I mean,
get Brian
disclaimer: the guy
sharing.
wouldn't do not encourage outdoor drinking. Wink, 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 wink.
Oh, wink, wink, wink. Okay, so what you do is you get Brian, Sharon, Cam, and you get them to sit by your cooler for 6 hours,
Yeah,
and you grab Craig and Carlson, and I'll come into town, and then you run a 50 miler,
yeah.
and you just pass by him every 2.5 miles, and there's your aid station.
There we go.
I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, and you
I
can
think
you
I
can
just,
you can just run it with me. Yeah, it'd be great.
I think we just came up with an ultra.
I think we did.
I think we
And
did.
yeah, you don't even really need an aid station. You just have them sit there in the cooler and they can drink, or drink some water, wink, wink,
Drink some water, wink, wink.
in a brown
Yeah,
paper bag and have a great time.
yeah. I think back to the local legend thing. One thing I want to do is create a segment like right by my house where I like finish every time I run.
Were you the only person that runs it so you can be the local legend of
Pretty
the
much.
segment?
There's one other guy that I in my neighborhood that I see run, but he always he doesn't run the way that I like finish my run. So I could just create that and be the local legend, and it'd be great. And then I'd have some pride in my
Do
running
it.
career.
Do it.
I know.
Now,
I
yeah,
know
this
I'd have to.
podcast to hold you accountable. So we expect you to make that segment and be a local legend by the time we record the next one, which will
Okay.
not be in the next 9 months. Hopefully, it's next week.
I know. I mean, if we do one show every 9 months, it just keeps
We'll
people.
we'll get
Keeps them guessing.
a handful in before we die of old age at 93.
Yeah. I don't. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with that. No,
Yeah.
I kid. So how's it been not having races to look forward to?
Yeah, I've
Also,
kind of gone back in my
have
head a couple
did you
different
have
times.
did you have races for this year other than the half Ironman?
Only had the half Ironman. I looked at
Okay.
a couple different. We tried to get into Leadville. Obviously, we didn't get into Leadville,
Yeah.
which nobody's obviously running it this year. Everything canceled. But nope, the Ironman 70.3 Des Moines got canceled, obviously, which we're doing next year.
Yep.
But that was the main one. And by the time that got canceled, obviously everything else was getting canceled too. So I hadn't signed up for another one in
I was
replacement of
surprised.
that.
I feel like it took them a long time to finally pull the cord on that.
Yeah, it definitely did. But anyways, I
Yeah,
did not
pull
have
the plug.
anything that was scheduled after that got canceled, which is, good or bad. Is what it is. We're all dealing
Mhm.
with it.
Yep.
But no, I did not. But I kind of go back and forth on it. One being, been a lot of running and biking and swimming over the last number of years from not really doing much racing prior to 2017. So the last like 3 years. So it's kind of nice having those 3 years of like a lot of training, not
A lot of
necessarily
training,
year
a lot of
round, but
races.
36
Yeah.
months of pretty heavy duty training. It's kind of been nice to kind of take a step back and like just get back to the roots of like, I enjoy running because it's like, it's a stress reliever and it's like, it's just good for your body. And it's because I want to go running, not because I feel like I have to, because I'm scared of this big goal that's down the road, which I love having those goals. But it's been nice to kind of reflect on why I started running, like what I enjoy about it. Um, doing it because I like to, and not because I feel like I have to.
Yep.
But on the flip side, I do miss those big goals that kind of push you and you get out of bed today and like, okay, I got to work, I got to get a 10 miler in, and I got to get whether it was for the training for a 100 miler, or it's like, oh, I got to get a bike or swim in the morning and then a bike in after work.
Mhm.
I do really enjoy having that structure to my day, but it's been nice to kind of just get back to the basics of why I like running in the first place.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and I think I'm kind of in the same or similar boat. Ever since marathon in 2016 ran Chicago, the next spring did Boonville. That fall, I had my first DNF, so I was training for 100 poorly, but training for 100, and then
Hennepin,
2018,
correct?
yeah, I was Hennepin, and then 2018 came and started doing 50K, 50K, 100K, 3 or 4 a year that I felt like I was training for 2018, 2019, which I know wasn't that much. It's not that much bulk. It's not that much quantity, but it's more than I was definitely used to, especially coming from like absolutely nothing. So I, other than the Ironman, was planning on kind of taking this year off already.
Yeah.
as like for ultras and stuff, just to kind of not reset necessarily, but allow myself to run just when I wanted to run. And then COVID happened, which fucking sucked. Obviously, it still sucks. It's still terrible.
Yes,
Everything,
it
things are
does.
shut down. Things are canceled. People are getting sick. Hospitals are back to capacity again. It's at least in Iowa they are, because COVID Kim fucking sucks. It's not just COVID Kim, but there's a lot of factors that feed into it.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't have any races, so I didn't really miss out on doing any races. But now I'm really missing it. Like, I'm missing that bite that you get. I'm missing those butterflies you get when you wake up at 4:30 in the morning for a 6 a.m. Towing the line and being off, and it's nuts. It's crazy, but
It is.
hoping that next year we'll come back to some semblance of normalcy.
Definitely, and it's been fun to kind of see in the last couple months, smaller races coming back and larger races coming back. I know we've had some friends and some past guests that have been running races or RDs who are putting on races, which has been fun to see. And we are slowly getting back there. Obviously, there's some good news coming out with vaccines and everything. So I think we're come hopefully next bulk race season come May, June, July, August, we're all back in training mode and towing the line in person to see our friends and all the volunteers out in person, and hopefully we can do that safely in 2021, because I think we all miss it. So it's
Yep.
it's certainly something we're all kind of chomping at the bit to get back to.
Yep, absolutely. Can't wait for it. And actually, it's kind of funny. So 2021, the only race that I think either of us have on our calendar is the Ironman, half Ironman.
Mm-hmm.
And so they obviously postponed it. They postponed it, and you had the option to or to do it in November or like September of this year, which is when it was supposed to be postponed till.
Yep.
Or next year's iteration of the race. And then September got canceled. So then everyone was just, you get to do next year's iteration of the race or a handful of other ones. Well, I thought that I had re-registered for the new one and never actually did. So I was kind of combing through some of my emails and just kind of cleaning them up. And I saw that I had this registration. So I went to validate that I had registered or transferred my registration. This was October 30th, and that date is important. But it was October 30th, and I realized that I hadn't. And on the little notice thing, it said you had until October 31st to transfer your registration. So I almost shit my pants. Well, I was 2 days away from shitting my pants for wasting
Yeah.
$500 on this
Yeah,
race that I wasn't
right.
going to then be able to participate in. But yeah, I was like, oh, you're a real fucking genius, Michael. You fucking forgot to just push 2 buttons on your goddamn phone.
Yeah.
God.
Damn. What a Halloween
was
treat
rough.
that would have been. Had you woken up and realized you hadn't you lost
God.
your
It honestly probably wouldn't have been until sometime next year when like you and Kevin and Christina started getting information on the race, notifications or emails, and oh, what's going on? Why am I not getting them? And then, oh yeah, you didn't spend 5 minutes to re-register and confirm your name. Oh, I would have been so pissed.
Speaking of Halloween, what did you and Hillary give out for your trick or treaters? Or were you gone? Were you home? Was there a trick or treating in your neighborhood, or how did that work?
Home. We were home. So Iowa does this. People that are in Iowa are familiar. They do Beggars Night.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's Beggars Night, and it's typically the night before Halloween, depending on when Halloween is. It's definitely catered towards like kids, so kids that are out trick or treating.
Damn, you mean Des Moines caters to trick or treating to kids? Damn,
isn't it nuts?
Brutal.
That's how they decide when I know, it's crazy. So, but I also think like if Halloween's on a Saturday, Beggars Night could be on like Thursday instead of Friday. But again, with this year and like with COVID, things were just fucking weird anyway. But
everything's
I
fucking weird.
digress. I digress. Our neighborhood is a lot of older retired people that don't have kids. We have 2 neighbors in our full little figure 8 block that you're familiar with, but I don't know, there's probably 60 houses on it, and I'm way off. It's probably 40 houses, and only 2 of them have kids that are age appropriate to trick or treat.
How do you know this?
I've only ever seen kids from.
We have one neighbor across the street. You've looked into all the windows to know there's only 2 houses with kids.
That's an aggressive statement to make. I've only ever seen kids in our neighborhood, and they're always the same. Either our neighbor across the street, they have like a 3-year-old, or these twins that live down the street. I've never seen any other kids.
Got it.
In the neighborhood.
Got it.
So yeah, no, I don't look in their houses. Although, I love
just asking the questions. Hey, I'm just asking the questions. You answer however you want to. I'm just asking.
Love House Hunters. Love looking on Zillow. but I'm not a peeping Tom. That's just not who. That's not. If that's how you are, that's fine.
No.
That's not who I am. But anyway, so we didn't have trick or treaters. We never have had any trick or treaters at all.
Oh, really?
And then yeah, never. The first year we were here, we were like ready for it, and then last year we were like, all right, well, nobody knew here. We didn't get anyone. No one's out the
Right.
door. But then our neighbors across the street with the like 2 or 3-year-old daughter, they texted us and a few of our other neighbors saying, hey, does anyone want a trick or treater? Like, our child would love to trick or treat.
Yeah.
And so we responded. We were like, we have some cookies that our other neighbor gave to us that were prepackaged. It's not like they were like homemade.
Yeah.
And we also have some caramel sucker pops. So
Those are great. Those
they're-
are fucking great.
I don't like them as much as I used to because my teeth get all sticky and gross, which is just how it happens. But I'm more uncomfortable with that feeling now than I think I ever have been.
It's called getting
So-
old, Michael. It's called getting old.
It sucks. It's like, oh, this might give me a cavity. It's like, no, fucking idiot. Eat the candy.
What are some other things? Sorry, you can finish your story about what you gave
That's
out.
okay.
So they came and gave
They
you
came. Yep. So Hillary and I sat on the porch. I put on my Walter Payton jersey.
fucking sweetness, baby. Let's go.
Yep. And Hillary, I think she put on a hat. I don't know. Or she might have been like, nah. So then they came over. Their daughter was a witch and she froze me
Love it.
like this.
Love it. Did she ever
Yeah.
unfreeze you?
She did. They made her. They're like, you have to unfreeze him.
Good
And then
parents.
I
Good
got
parenting.
unfrozen. I know, they're very nice. So we gave her a some candy and then we went inside. Had some more beer.
Couple suckers.
Couple suckers, couple cookies, and I think she was appreciative of it. I know her parents her parents are super nice. We get along with them really well.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what we did. Did you have any trick or treaters in your building?
Wouldn't know. Wasn't home.
Oh, okay.
Was out trick or treating with well, not trick or treating, but I was consuming alcohol at a friend's place.
Copious amounts of alcohol safely.
Safely, social distancing.
Nice.
Yeah. Doing adult Halloween things. I was
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite, which was a great time.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yep, I was
I love
Napoleon
it.
Dynamite. Craig was Tina the
He was
llama.
Tina, you fat
And
lord.
Brian
Come drink
was
your
Kip.
dinner.
Uncle
I love
Kip.
that.
Yep.
Uncle Kip?
Yeah, Brian was just jealous I was chatting online with hot babes all day.
Oh, obviously. Of
Yep.
course he was.
I thought about bringing like tots and stuffing them in my pockets for like Napoleon Dynamite. but-
That would have been aggressive.
I know.
And
And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll print some tots off and cut them out. And then my printer was out of color ink, so I couldn't do that either. But it was a great time. It was a lot of fun. We were, a small group of people that we see all the time. So
Yeah.
it was responsible.
Good.
Under the limit, Lori Lightfoot, don't come knocking on my door.
It's okay. She's not going to listen to this anyway.
Her
Oh,
meeting
well.
guy, who knows? But anyways, what I was
Yeah.
going to ask was, you mentioned things that were getting stuck in your teeth
Yep.
through, that caramel apple candy. What are some other things that were a great time when you were a kid? Now that we're we're 28, we're getting to be old fucks.
Mhm.
What were some things that you loved as a kid that now
Mhm.
you're like, ugh, I don't even know if I even like that. And I can go first if you need to think about something.
I've got one. I still love it. I just can't consume it the way I used to be able to.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk.
Ooh, okay.
I still love it. I can't have more than half a glass, and then I feel bloated. I feel so gross. As a kid, I could probably drink a gallon of it in a sitting, just back and forth.
Dude, there was nothing better than when it was milk time. In that sounds bad.
Milk time.
In elementary
Okay.
school, that scene Billy Madison, when he's walking through the halls and the custodian's he's like, "Do you want some of this milk?" It's there's those trays of milk outside of the classroom, and then he says, "No, I'd rather have a beer." But anyways, there's when you get that is it always the blue and white milk carton
Absolutely.
for the skim milk, the 2%, and then you had the
Yeah,
brown.
the skim was pink.
Oh, I thought it was blue and white. No.
I think the skim was pink. The 2% was blue and white.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Napoleon Dynamite, I see you drinking 2%. Is that because you think you're fat? It's good to be drinking whole. But and then the brown.
Whole milk is delicious.
The brown carton was
The chocolate milk.
chocolate. It was fucking delicious.
It's delicious. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I could not tell you the last time I had chocolate milk was.
Oh, I had it 3 weeks ago. Before I got some chocolate milk and donuts before a Bears game. Hillary was gone,
Nice.
and I was like, yep, going to do that.
Dude, things
then I
have
went
changed.
I know. I went to Donut Hut, and I got 2 donuts. Actually, I got 4. I had 2 of them. Again, fat ass. And then I think Hillary and I split one, and then I had the other one later that day.
So
Just
good.
rough.
What flavor donuts?
I got 2 different types of old fashions. I got an apple fritter, and then I got like a cinnamon one, like an apple cinnamon one.
Nice.
So good. And then I also got like a little jug of chocolate milk.
That
I
sounds so
felt
good.
disgusting, but
Yeah.
you know,
Have
I was
you
like,
guys
fuck
been
it.
to Botters since like the pandemic or no?
No. I
Hopefully they're
think
still open.
yeah, they are. I've driven by. They have like
Okay.
takeout.
Okay.
Takeout. It's Botters. It's takeout.
Like
But they
donuts in the
have
morning at 5
yeah, they have
a.m.
like stuff in the morning. Yeah. But I have not been inside of it.
Hopefully they're doing okay.
Super sad. Yeah, I
Just like
hope
every
so.
other
Every other
restaurant.
business.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
We
Hopefully
love
they're doing okay.
Botters so much, but
We do.
you know,
Maybe they'll sponsor us.
maybe,
Or
maybe not.
Yeah, maybe
But
not.
maybe. You never know.
Hey, I just said maybe.
I know. So, okay, so what's yours? What's something that you really appreciated? What's something you loved as a child, and now you're like, meh, could leave it. Take it or
Staying
leave
up
it.
late.
Oh, absolutely.
I used to be, I'm going to stay up late. Speaking of which, I used to love staying up late. And remember that show, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge?
No, but
It used to be on Spike, which is going to come
oh, is
full
that
circle.
MXC?
Yeah, MXC.
Yeah, yeah.
Be on Spike, and it used to like be on late night. And my brother and I used to like convince my parents to like let us stay up and watch MXC. For those who don't know, it's like a Japanese game show that like Americans like dubbed over like very inappropriate commentary, but absolutely fucking hilarious. Just like these people getting absolutely annihilated on these like obstacle courses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious show. Probably not good for like an 8-year-old to be watching, but I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
I used to stay up late and watch that and be always tired the next day. Now it's like I'd rather go to sleep early and not be tired. But MXC
Absolutely.
is now on Amazon Prime, so I don't have to stay up late to watch it. I
You can watch it
whenever I want
you want
to.
to.
And you know what? Now that I'm talking about it, as soon as we're done here, I'm probably gonna watch MXC.
But it's
So-
pretty. It's getting pretty late.
It's like 9 o'clock, so you know that's true.
It's getting pretty late. I know.
Might be running it back to when I was like 8, staying up
I know.
late past bedtime, watching MXC.
I know. I don't blame you if you do. Speaking of staying up late, Hillary and I think that our sleep cycles just coincide perfectly with like sunrise and sunset
Mm-hmm.
because the last 3 nights, we're recording this on Wednesday evening. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we were in bed before 9 o'clock every single night. And it's so
That's
nice.
So nice.
So nice. Don't fall asleep all the time right at 9 o'clock, but asleep by 10:15 at the latest after done dicking around on our phones.
That's my
then
ideal
I get
bedtime.
8
10.
Absolutely 8 full hours of sleep, and then I get up at 6:15, 6:30. It's great. It's
Yeah.
great. And today I slept in until like 6:55, 7 o'clock. So nice.
Oh,
Getting
my
like a full
ideal bedtime
9
is-
hours.
oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You wake up feeling great. Like,
Oh, feels so good.
hell yeah. But yeah,
Feels so
I
good.
think like yeah, those are 2 good answers.
What else? What else do you miss? No. Okay, so what do you miss from childhood? What do you wish?
Oh,
that
dude,
you
I was just
could-
talking about this the other. Actually, I can tell you something I miss right now. Like
Mhm.
especially with like no one watches commercials anymore. But I also don't watch like Nickelodeon, obviously. But I did something I found out that was on Amazon Prime. It was like a bunch of old Nickelodeon shows, like Hey Arnold and like Scooby Doo.
dangerous.
and
I'm not going to get
Powerpuff
any
Girls.
work done.
So I watched Powerpuff Girls last night. It was fucking hilarious.
I love it. Are there a
Sugar and
lot of
spice and
are there a
everything
lot of
nice.
adult
Huh?
are there a lot of adult references in it that you just went over your head when you were a kid, or no?
Oh, I
Not
think
one of
like
those
all
shows.
in like 90 like early cartoons, absolutely.
Okay.
But anyway, what I was going to say was something I do miss about watching. Like when I do watch TV, it's like usually sports games or ESPN or whatever. It's not like kids shows shit. But I
Mhm.
do miss, especially around November and December, is like commercials for toys. Like you used to like have like the Rock'em, the Sock'em Boppers,
Sock'em,
and
yep.
like yeah,
Rock'em Sock'em Robots and stuff.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and like the moon boots where you could like jump off and like you used to be able to like jump like a trampoline like you're on the moon.
Mhm.
I do miss seeing those, and like Hot Wheels. I missed that as a kid. Like be like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. Just it's kind of like it's similar to being an adult when you're like at the movies, like watching the previews, and you're like, I want to see that. Like you used to always like watch the commercial and be like, oh, I'm gonna get that for Christmas. I'm gonna get that. For
Oh yeah,
Christmas. I
like
want that for
adding it to my
Christmas."
list. Oh,
Yeah.
big time,
Yeah.
big time.
So
So I'd be curious. I wonder. I've seen some stuff going around Twitter. I would be curious to ask the parents of our listeners. No, our listeners.
our
who have
listeners are
young
probably
kids.
parents.
I know. I was gonna say our listeners who have young kids. Has it crossed your mind to say, Santa's got COVID?
It's
Santa
actually
can't
one of
come.
that's actually one of the ask credits I had for today. was,
Really?
How
Oh, fuck
are
yeah.
how are parents in 2020 gonna
Yep.
like tell their kids, they're gonna be like, what? Santa can't come because of COVID. He's gonna like give us COVID. We're gonna give him COVID. Like
Yep.
how are they gonna explain Santa's going down millions of chimneys to give presents when it's 2020? Like how's that gonna work out?
I don't know. I think what they'll probably say is
He's a
Santa sent
hazmat
him.
suit on.
He sent them through Amazon.
How they get under the tree then?
He sent them to us, and
The magic of Christmas.
magic. It's the magic of Christmas, obviously. Yep.
True. Or maybe he lives in the North Pole where no COVID lives or exists.
It can't. It's too cold there, right?
He's. I guess if he
Don't
fly
take
around
that
the
out
world
of
in one night.
context.
I guess
know.
if a kid's young enough to believe in that, he's probably not going to be thinking about how aerosol viruses.
Right. I
transport.
mean, but maybe though. I mean, a lot of kids have been wearing masks. A lot of
True.
kids
No,
kind of
yeah.
know and
glad
understand what's going on
I'm
to an
glad I don't
extent.
have to have that conversation.
I know, me too.
So
So something that I miss from when I'm a kid, and I thought about this today. Oh man, and it's gonna make me sad. It's gonna make you sad too. The first, come spring, the first Little League practice of the year.
fuck yeah.
Oh, I used to just dream about that day, have it written on the calendar. I remember one year specifically, I had like a full not calendar, but basically all the practices written out. It was like 2 practices a week for 3 weeks, and then you started playing games. And Rich Rodriguez, Justin's dad, was our coach, and it was a
Not
Tuesday.
the football coach at Michigan and Utah and stuff back in the day.
Correct.
Okay.
But I remember it was a Tuesday and it was raining, and I was like, baseball is going to be canceled, and I'm going to be really sad. And then we got the call, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, just letting you know, practice is canceled tonight." And I remember sitting there just so sad, so upset. I was already dressed, I was already done, and I just took a pen and I just struck through the practice and was just probably mopey and
Right through
sad
your
the rest
heart.
of the afternoon. Oh, I was so sad, so upset. I miss playing baseball so much.
I remember watching like the radar
pract-
all the time. For
Oh,
like, we're gonna be
absolutely.
washed out today. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And it was
Good
so
stuff.
yeah, it was practices were fun. You didn't have to like run for conditioning. It was like hitting. You play catch, and then you might do some fielding drills, and then you might go shag some balls in the outfield while kids are doing some batting practice, learning how to swing. And then you practice fly balls, and then you might play pickle for a little bit if you want,
Yep.
or running bases.
The good old days.
Oh man, life was simpler back then, wasn't it?
Dude,
Make up stupid nicknames. Oh,
hell yeah.
crazy. I miss that so
Did
much.
you have any
I'm
good
getting
nicknames?
sad.
I remember you had those nice white shiny cleats you used to wear.
I had those white
You're
cleats.
known as a white cleat kid.
Yeah, I had white cleats. I had them for probably 2 or 3 years.
They were intimidating on the mound.
Oh, that's why I got them. No, I probably got them because they were cheap, which is fine. But yeah, I used
Played
to
against
love
Sports
those cleats.
Purchase or Sports
Most
Authority?
likely, probably Sports Authority, or probably maybe even Marshalls. Who knows?
Oh,
Like last year's
people sleep on
stuff.
Marshalls. People sleep on Marshalls.
They
Great.
have top of the. I don't want to say top of the line, but mid range stuff. Just last year's. Like, why
Yeah.
are these cleats anywhere? I'm 9 years old. Why does it matter what cleats that I have?
No shit.
But yeah,
shit.
no,
Amen.
oh, man, I would love to just get back up on the mound for one more inning, just throw my arm out.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I played catch a couple times in different parks around the city, and I am always feeling it the next day.
oh absolutely, It's tough.
Probably a half dozen times since I've been here. Like Buddy and I, Brian and I played catch a lot. Craig, Brian and I, and it's been sore every time.
Yep, brutal.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yep, it's
Not
sad.
great.
Not
But
great at all.
it's great.
Gonna have to. If you're here next week, gonna have to play catch. Bring the glove.
Absolutely.
Play some long
Absolutely.
toss. Get our velocity up for winter.
I have actually, not to change topics, but I do have a couple of running questions for you that's been kind of fun and I'm super jealous of.
Oh sure.
So a couple times it seems over the last couple of months, a previous guest has been in Iowa. You guys have ran with
Twice.
Adam Kimball, who's
With
a
Mr.
ultra
Kimball.
runner. Yeah,
Yep.
who's also just set an FKT on the Tahoe Rim Trail.
He did.
170 miles in 37 hours on the.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It's just,
Um,
makes me want to puke.
a 27,000 feet again.
For reference, Olson and I took 32 hours to run 100
correct.
miles flat.
Correct.
And he was what? He was 37 hours, 170 miles in Tahoe at
Yep.
elevation.
Yep. So
God.
anyways, I want to hear about how that came about and how you guys ran together with
It was-
a world-class ultra runner.
It was great. So Adam, we've had Adam on the podcast before, I think just once.
Just
So
once.
go back and listen to that episode. You can hear a lot of the background about what Adam's done.
He's
Sneak
been on
peek.
Price is Right.
He's been on The Price is Right. He won a Showcase Showdown. He won The Wheel, which was a show on Discovery Channel. He won a stage race in China, I think.
Yep. He's an
Um,
RD.
uh,
Yep.
Yep. And he's an RD. He's a professional ultra runner. He's at the FKT at Tahoe. I mean,
He's
it just
awesome.
goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
He's a super nice guy. So he was coming through town because he was going to visit his parents. So he lives in California. His parents live in Illinois. He was going to visit his parents. So we stayed in Des Moines at an Airbnb. On the way out, we ran with him. I think it was a Saturday morning or so. We did a little tour, Des Moines.
How far did you
And
run?
we ran like 8 miles,
Nice.
eight and change.
Okay.
And I feel pretty proud. So not proud, but you know me, if we have a run planned, I like to try to figure out how far we're going to go and like come up with some sort of a route, especially like Saturday morning type stuff. Change it up. Don't just do a normal, loop around Grays, loop around wherever.
You're the map guy.
I'm the map guy. So we started at Grays Lake, and then I kind of took us, I was with, it was myself, Nate, who's been on the show, Alex, Nate's brother, Adam, and then Adam's wife, Karen. So 5
Nice.
of us. And we did a little 8-mile tour. We we went across the new bridge. I'm just going to take you through mentally. Went across the new bridge to the new upcoming neighborhood, Grays Landing. Went to the Sculpture Garden, and then went up Grand to the
Old
Governor's
Sculpture
Mansion.
Garden. My old
Yep.
stopping grounds. R.I.P.
Yep. R.I.P. Well, they're still there. You're not.
Correct.
And then went up by the Governor's Mansion, down by the horse barn. And then, down by the horse barn, kind of cut back, did some trails, and then just went back behind, kind of behind where Waterworks is, and then under Fleur, and then just came back around on Grace.
Nice.
And I think at first it was kind of a joke. They were like, "Oh yeah, great route, whatever." But then they were like, "No, that was actually a good route because
Awesome.
the elevation, it was a little bit of up and down change. The scenery was different. We didn't have to do any loops. We didn't do any out and backs. So I'm just gonna pat myself on the back.
Nice.
Great
Yeah,
route.
I was gonna ask. I think that they live in like Tahoe area or like.
Yep. Yeah, I live in
yeah.
Tahoe.
So they obviously they're running beautiful places. Like, what was the feedback they gave you on like the, running scene in Des Moines, the route you guys took?
I think they liked it. I mean, I think they liked the route in general.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "This is great. Like, never really been to Des Moines. Never spent much time in Des Moines. It was a beautiful morning. I think I was probably in pants and, it was probably 35 degrees, so it was chilly,
Yeah.
but it was sunny, so that was nice. That was
What
a
time?
benefit.
What time do you guys start?
We went at 7:30.
Okay, so
I
early.
think. Yeah, we went pretty early. They were gonna then drive out to Illinois, so they wanted to be on the road by about 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I think they enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't like the best thing in the world, but it
Right,
was like a
no.
nice route. And they're like, it's good to kind of get behind some of the South of Grand neighborhoods, see some nice homes, hit up some trails,
Yeah.
get some nice views of the skyline. I still think personally, the skyline coming from the south or southwest is the best views of Des Moines that you could possibly have. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Southeast is pretty nice too, but yeah, no,
Cool.
it was cool. Took them
Which
where we
which
kinda wanted to
trails
go.
did you guys run on? Greenwood or?
No, so the trail we ran on was not really an official trail. So if you are, this is getting pretty specific,
horse
but
trails?
it's interesting anyway. Yeah, it's like the horse trails. So
Okay.
we ran the horse trail from by the barn to kind of by the bridge.
Okay, got it.
know where that
Yep,
is?
Yep.
But
yep,
when you come from the barn towards the path that hits the bridge, instead of going left, we went right. So if you get on the Bill Riley trail, kind of and head towards where me and Hillary live,
Yep.
and then at some point, it kind of narrows a little bit, and you can take a hard, sharp left, and then you can take like horse path, basically back to the bridge.
Yep.
So it's
Yep,
only like
yep.
3/4 of a mile, not even. It's probably a third to a half a mile, but it's nice. It's off the kind of off the beaten path, and you run along the river. So given the fact that it was early in the morning, it was a nice kind of change of pace.
Oh, it sounds
So,
beautiful. It makes
yeah.
me nostalgic. It makes me miss like all the old routes.
Hey, when you're here next week, we'll have
Yeah.
to do something like that again.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool.
So yeah,
It's a lot
no,
of
and then
fun.
and then we got caribou after, or coffee and bagels after, whatever at
Cool.
Brugger's, and then they came back through again last week, about a
Yeah,
week
'cause you
ago.
guys ran the Raccoon Trail?
Yep, we did a Friday morning. I think it was 2 Fridays ago. We did 10K at Raccoon and had some coffee, and again, that was another beautiful morning. Like
Well,
it was perfect.
I can say one thing is that you have officially upgraded your 4th JJRC member, so that's fine.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say Mark's probably the 4th right now. Actually, that's not
Has he
true.
ran?
No, absolutely. Which is why anything would be an upgrade because Mark
I
doesn't
guess
run with us anymore.
I should say 5th. I should say 5th.
Because Alex, yeah.
Right, duh.
Yep, Alex. And then Nikki's in the group too, but she hasn't ran with us in quite a while, which is fine also. But yeah. No, it was
That's
cool
awesome.
to see him. Him and his wife are just so nice, like so
Yeah.
sweet, so like well-meaning. Like you have conversations and you can tell that they're listening. They're not people who are just waiting to speak on their own or like to get something, say something and make a point that they want to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Just classic ultra runners, like just good people,
Yep.
great conversationalists, like just good natured. That's exactly what like this community is. So
Yep, that's like when Josh was in town.
Yeah.
10 months ago.
Hadn't seen him in like what, 2 years?
Hadn't seen him. I think probably not since mine to Spain a year and a half before that.
Yeah.
Or whenever it was, which is about 2 years ago now. So whatever, a year and some change. But he's like, hey, we're gonna be in town. Want to run? So we went with him and Mike, and one of their girlfriends and Taylor, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. We did had a lot of fun. So
That's just the vast majority of ultra running community are just like fucking awesome people.
Absolutely.
That's why we do it, right? I mean, it's obviously the running is a huge aspect of it, but it's just the people that make it awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, did you have some Ask Reddits?
I had one, and I had two, and one of them kind of got asked. Like, what are things that you as an adult that you like are kind of like that thing I thought was awesome as a kid is overrated now. So that was an earlier one which we talked about kind of at length.
Mm-hmm.
And my second one was, which Michael has not heard of until right this second, and it is, if you're making Rice Krispie treats,
okay,
what amount of sawdust do you think you could add to that Rice Krispie treats before anyone would notice?
I think I could do.
So just so you know, I looked, and it's like a typical thing is like a package of, marshmallows and like 6 cups like of Rice Krispie treats.
Okay.
So, like that could use like 6 cups of like dry mix.
Okay.
And a bunch of marshmallows that adds like the stickiness. But like, how much sawdust could you add to a batch of Rice Krispie treats without anybody noticing?
Okay. So sawdust is super fine.
It's super fine.
Like it's very, very fine.
Yes.
So I think, I don't know what it looks like if it gets baked or it gets mixed into the Rice Krispie.
I think you have to bake it in. And
yeah. You'd have to bake
fine.
it in.
It's like flour consistency, like not like those wood chunks, but like super fine. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've gotten sawdust in my face. It's terrible. It's awful.
Not great.
No, it's not exactly. It's not great at all. I think that, so if I think of a Rice Krispie bar, okay, I think that you could do like I'd say like 9 parts Rice Krispie to 1 part sawdust mixed in.
Yeah, I was thinking in parts too. Like, what if I have 6 cups or let's just make it even 10 cups of Rice Krispie treats. Make a double batch. How much?
Yep.
Can you get a cup? Can you get a cup of sawdust in there? Is it 2 cups of sawdust? Is it like
a
tablespoon?
I think if you have 10 cups of Krispies and then the correct amount of marshmallows to go along with it. So 10 cups of Krispies, some marshmallows. I think you could get a cup of sawdust in there, mix it in. I think you'd be fine.
Okay. So a cup of sawdust. We're going to say that's for like, like kids or something. I'm going to say that you're going to make this for, let's say, like a Friendsgiving. And everyone's going to be sauced. And like, this is dessert. So everyone's drunk. Probably, maybe a bottle of wine in, maybe, maybe 4 or 5, 6 beers in. And you're like, you know what? Instead of we're going to skip the apple pie because you guys are going to have that, your pumpkin pie because you're going to have that at family Thanksgiving. I'm going to make the best Rice Krispies you ever had. How much sawdust do you think you can get in then when everyone's kind of 3 feet in the wind?
Half.
Yeah. You might not, it might not even be Rice Krispie treats. It might just be sawdust treats.
If you're confident that people are going to be slosh enough, they'll eat anything if they think it's.
Yeah, I mean,
especially Rice Krispies. Someone thinks it's Rice Krispie, maybe not half, maybe a third.
Maybe a third.
I'd go with a third. Yeah, you could do 4 cups of Rice Krispie, 8 cups of 8 cups of Rice Krispie, 4 cups of sawdust. Jesus Christ. But it's tough though too, because sawdust is super fine. So if you have a cup of sawdust, it fills up the cup. It fills up the dry cup.
Right.
But if you have a cup of Rice Krispies, it doesn't fill up the cup of Rice Krispies.
True. That's true. Rice Krispies are a lot more airy.
Okay, I'd say you could do
a third,
a quarter. I think a quarter of sawdust. But what if you had? I'm going to throw a curveball. What
Okay.
if you had Oreo Rice Krispies?
Dude, those are so fire.
You could. I
Sidetrack.
think you get
There
away
used
with
there's
more.
so there's one of my I don't remember very many like school lunches or like college lunches. Two things I remember from college. We used to like look at the menu. It was chicken tender day and Oreo
Did you
cake day.
did you mean to say college or did you mean to say kindergarten?
No, college, college.
Chicken
I mean,
tender day.
we had great food at Iowa State. It was like
Yeah.
stations and everything, but there's always like you could look at the menu for everything, and there's like the chicken tenders were fire, and their Oreo cake was fire, and Oreo Rice Krispies are same as Oreo cake, so good.
I
That
disagree.
ups it up. That ups
Oh,
it up
okay.
for sure.
They're not the same, but they're same in how great they are.
Right? Yeah. It's like
Okay,
the
okay.
Oreo cake, Oreo like
I thought
Rice
you were-
Krispies.
Yeah, I
Both
thought you were
fire,
saying
fire.
that Rice Krispies are the same thing as cake.
No. But I'm saying like it just with
Unless
all
you
that
have
flavor, it ups like the amount of sawdust
Deliciousness?
you can fit in there.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah,
tell me there was sawdust in
completely.
an Oreo cake, and I'd fucking I don't give a shit.
I'd be like, okay.
You could tell me it was a
wood
Lincoln
comes from
log, and I'll
trees.
eat it if as long as it tastes somewhat like Oreo cake. But
Exactly.
anyways, I think like 3 parts Rice Krispie, 1 part sawdust. You know, and I'm not gonna shame Taco Bell. Like I love Taco Bell. I mostly eat it when I'm like drunk. But Taco Bell makes their living off of drunk people. That's not really Mexican food. It's good
It's
enough.
not. Yeah.
It's not. It's good enough. And there's an entire franchise that exists because like they're like people who are hammered, they can't really taste the food.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you're hammered, you might be able to go equal parts. Because people, if you tell them the Rice Krispie treats, like they're gonna think it's Rice Krispie treats, and they're just gonna eat it. Like if I
So
like when you're like it's
one
Taco Bell, I'm
part
gonna
Rice
tell you
Krispie-
you're eating Mexican food. You're really eating melted crayons, like with the taco with the nacho cheese. Like it's not actually nacho
Yeah,
cheese. It
it's
just
not real
melted
nacho
like
cheese.
leftover
Yeah.
crayons from the
Yeah.
Miss Parsons' third grade
It's like
class.
it's like 6 steps down from Velveeta. That's their
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah, exactly. It's what's left at the bottom of the vats of Velveeta. They scrape it out with the rubber scraper, and
Mhm.
that's like the leftover. Like
Mhm.
that's what Taco Bell uses.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Taco Bell. I'm a huge Taco Bell guy when at 3:00 in the morning. So
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the last time I had Taco Bell, but I
had it not
used to
too long
love.
ago.
Oh, I believe it. They used to have that cheesy gordita crunch. Or no, the Crunchwrap Supreme. Whatever.
Crunchwrap Supreme's great.
Is that the one that came in like a hexagon?
Yep. I used
Oh,
to eat 2 of
so
those.
and they had like a hard tortilla in the middle.
Correct.
Oh,
Those
so
are
good.
fire. They're
So
quote unquote
good.
expensive by Taco Bell standards, but every Cubs game used to come down growing up. Used to get one at Ogilvy Transportation Center. Take the metro down, get Crunchwrap Supreme at the Taco Bell inside the train station. Go to Wrigley, take the red line over to Wrigley, get it. Oh, R.I.P. to this Taco Bell. Get another Crunchwrap Supreme at
So
that
this was-
Taco Bell
this-
by Wrigley.
This
and
was
wait in
not with
line.
your. Was this with your when you would go like with your parents or when you'd go
No, with like friends.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't see Kurt saying, "Yeah, have a Crunchwrap Supreme," and then we'll get another one
No,
too.
it's like with your friend, you're gonna go sit in the bleachers. So
Yep.
you, for a 1:00 game, you leave at like 6
Do it
a.m.
6 in the morning. Yeah.
Take the train down,
Yep.
get a Crunchwrap, walk to the like the Monroe stop, get on, and then you go to Wrigley, and then go to the old Taco Bell, get another Crunchwrap, get in line, and you sit and wait in the bleacher line until like 11,
Till forever.
and
Yep.
then so you wait there for like 4 hours. You have a little Taco Bell, then you're in. So
Yep.
Taco Bell's great.
You can't beat it.
Holds a special place in my heart. But
Yeah. Yep.
anyways, this is
Oh,
fun, man.
man.
It's been a long time since we've done an episode of this shit. And we didn't talk a whole lot of running because there's not a whole lot of running races going on right now or training. But coming up on what? How long are we running right now? It's about an
We're
hour
almost
exactly
at an
at
hour.
most.
Yeah, we're at 58:26 right now. I got to cut some stuff out where I misspoke and had some shit. No, that's okay.
That's okay.
But yeah, so go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think that's probably a good place to leave it. We'll get more as we get rolling along in the kind of the comeback here, but we're excited about being back. You can expect kind of a weekly episode. We have nothing else to do, so
Nope.
we're back. I got nothing else to say. What's anything else that you have to say before we
We are
like
back.
cut to black?
Cut to black. We are excited to be back. We might bring back some old segments. Maybe we'll cold call body bag. Maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll just go as we please. Again, hoping to get interesting people on to talk, so you're not just listening to us buffoons all the time, and also hoping to get some more recurring guests or guests that will become recurring guests that know us, that also run, that can contribute to this conversation as well.
Yeah, and I think like Michael said at the beginning, we're recording this because we are in different locations. So we'll get this up on whether it's Instagram or a YouTube page, so you can watch it. I always enjoy that when I'm watching Rogan and stuff to actually see the people
Oh yeah,
talking.
we could
versus just
stream too
listening.
while we go. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
So we're open to whatever people like. If you like the recordings, tell us that. If you like the just the audio, tell us that. If you like the Ask Reddit shit, if you like the running shit, tell us that. So we say it all the time. Just haven't said it in 9 months. Whatever you guys like, tell us, and we'll plan accordingly. So
Yep, we'll be back.
we are back. Not
We
we'll be
are back.
We are fucking
We are
back.
back. Have
We
you
are
seen?
back.
Have you seen Hamilton? As an aside,
Of course, yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that song. You'll be back.
I thought you were doing like I honestly thought you were doing.
Back.
I thought you were doing a Borat impression, to be honest.
Oh no! Did you see the new one?
I did.
No, I'm not gonna watch
Absolutely
it.
preposterous.
Really? I didn't like the first one. I thought it was stupid. So
yeah,
I don't know.
If you didn't like the first one, you're not gonna like the second one. So
yeah, but I also saw it when it like came out, and I was a stupid kid. So I was maybe.
I mean, it's stupid. I thought it was funny. I laughed, but it is very dumb and very, very inappropriate.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's an hour. That's Shiowa.
Right.
Official Shiowa.
Let's
go.
You're back. Let's get it. All right.
Peace.
Deuces. Yeah, Bo. All done. All right. I need to go back and figure out where we kind of fucked that up, which is my fault. So it sounds bad again.
What's that?
It sounds bad again. Like it sounds like how the fuck is Down Mountain? Oh, we're not recording anymore, are we?
No, I'm saving my file right now.
Okay. Kate Avocado saw our Shiowa story.
Who's Kate Avocado? What's our Shiowa story?
Oh, just a picture of
Dude, huge. I haven't seen it yet.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. But Kate Avocado sounds like Kate Navigado.
No, okay, that's what I assumed.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Not so hotto. Not recording. That'd be bad.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like the sound was working the way I wanted it to. See, now it's better too. It's better again. Fuck, whatever. So I just did most of that last half without hearing any of it. I'm gonna try to cut out that piece that I fucking shit the bed on.
Let me.
I'm glad the sound like worked okay.
Yeah, me too.
393, I think it was. The sound level. What did I say? 393 cut up. Yeah. Okay. Probably not gonna. Yeah. Send that file over.
Yep.
I'll see like
what
like you think sounds better.
Oop, I cannot minimize while I'm still recording the screen. I don't need to do that anymore. How do I stop recording the screen then?
Let's see. 393. I gotta do this one too. Let's see.